As coaches, parents, and members of our community, we have a responsibility to keep our athletes safe. So be prepared. Please pay attention to the information in this video. What you learn could save a life.
Tell me something. Did you play sports when you were a kid? How many times did you dream about making the winning shot, throwing the winning touchdown, or maybe hitting the winning home run? The crowd went wild. You told the news reporter that you're going to go to Disney World, and you hoisted the trophy in the victory parade. You probably never imagined that a player would just collapse, lie motionless on the court, while the fans stood around in silence. Sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 cause of death in the United States. It takes the lives of almost 400,000 men and women. That's more than breast cancer, lung cancer, stroke, and AIDS combined. But sudden cardiac arrest isn't just an adult thing. It is the #1 cause of death of student athletes. Takes the lives of thousands of students every single year. As coaches, we prepare for everything. We scout players, we draft plays, we review film, we set lineups. But what can we do to prepare for sudden cardiac arrest? How can we protect our players? Sudden cardiac arrest is what happens when the heart stops beating, suddenly and unexpectedly. Out of nowhere, the heart just stops pumping blood. This is caused by one of two problems. There may be an electrical problem. For instance, there's an extra electrical pathway, and the rhythm gets interrupted. There may be a structural problem. The heart may be too big, or the chambers and valves are in the wrong place. As a result, the heart can't function properly. Fortunately, most of these conditions can be treated. Some students will take medication. Some may have to quit sports. For the more severe conditions, a student may need a medical procedure, medical device, or surgery. So that's a little background about the types of heart conditions and the possible treatments. That's all good to know. But this is what you have to know. This is where, as coaches, we really need to focus our attention. The warning signs of conditions that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. Fainting or seizures during exercise, unexplained shortness of breath, a racing heart, dizziness, chest pains, extreme fatigue. All right, time out. Right about now, you're probably thinking, this is crazy. Do you have any idea how long I've been coaching? Do you have any idea how many players have safely passed through my program? My players have these warning signs at practice all the time. Yes, it's true. If your students are working hard, they'll be short of breath and their hearts will be beating fast. But these symptoms are different. Look, you're a professional, and this is a situation where one time is one time too many. So let's take a look at these symptoms individually. #1, fainting or seizures during exercise. Fainting during exercise is the #1 warning sign of sudden cardiac arrest. Don't assume that your player is passing out from the heat, exhaustion, or dehydration. Additionally, if your student collapses and begins to shake, don't assume it's a seizure. Sudden cardiac arrest can cause victims to shake too. If there's no evidence of head trauma, you should assume that your student is in sudden cardiac arrest. #2, if your players are working hard, then certainly they'll be out of breath, temporarily. If they're in good shape, they'll recover pretty quickly. However, if your student can't catch his breath or always seems winded, this could be a sign. #3, racing heart. During practice or a game, your player's heart is going to be beating fast. However, her heart should slow down in due time. If a student's heart is racing, it feels like it's beating out of her chest, or it's really fast at the wrong time, like when she's sitting on the bench. Number 4, dizziness. A student who is repeatedly dizzy may be experiencing a warning sign of sudden cardiac arrest. Number 5, chest pains. A student who complains about chest pains should be examined. Chest pains are not the same thing as cramps. Number 6, extreme fatigue. Players will be tired after a practice or game. However, this player is always tired, or consistently more tired than her teammates. These are the 6 warning signs to remember. Please, watch out for them during practice and games. There's one more thing we need to review. What happens if your player collapses? If your student collapses unexpectedly and is not responsive, assume that she is in sudden cardiac arrest. This must be your game plan. Number 1, call 911. Number 2, send for an AED. Number 3, start chest compressions. CPR uses compressions to keep the blood circulating throughout the body until emergency help arrives. You should begin chest compressions immediately. An AED, or automated external defibrillator, diagnoses the heart problem and then delivers a shock if needed. These machines are the best tool to prevent sudden cardiac death. By doing these 3 things, 911, AED, and CPR, you will give your player the best chance of survival. Hopefully, you now understand a few things. Number 1, the 2 types of conditions that cause sudden cardiac arrest. Number 2, the 6 warning signs of conditions that lead to sudden cardiac arrest. Number 3, the game plan if your student collapses. As coaches, we spend so much time preparing to win games. Let's make sure that we're prepared for sudden cardiac arrest as well. Because while losing a game is bad, losing a player is much worse.